I met a gypsy.
What do you think about, so like if we go off, history, we've only got to look at, let's use Ryan Villapoto and Michael Lessie, and then let's use Adam Cincerello and Cooper Webb. What's your take on like the kids that always win as an amateur, not really winning as a pro?
So you said Cooper
And like,
Webb
is that
and
something
Cincerello.
where with
What other two?
Yeah. And then you got Alessi and Villapoto. So if we're talking titles, we're talking Villapoto, one of the greatest of all time. Cooper Webb, three Supercross championships, and they were both like the second fiddle dudes as amateurs to like these guys that they're now beating. So it's like in my head, if I'm like I've got a kid that's like wants to do that, I'm like, dude, don't even trip on winning. Like, be the fucking second place dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
bullshit.
There's a long no, but you know what I mean? There's like a long game to play here where it's like, okay, don't try and win, but it's like, hey man, winning these Loretta's titles, like what matters is a 450 championship. See what Cooper Webb's about to do? That's what matters. And it's like, do you have that perspective in mind?
Yeah, but I promise you, when those guys were racing, when Villapoto and Cooper Webb were racing, they didn't want to get second, dude. They were trying to win. You know what I'm saying? So that's not planned, right? Like Cincerillo had the good bikes and he had the support, and he probably was faster at the time. I don't know. Like, he probably was more advanced or had a little better skill set. Some people bloom at different times, and Alessi, yeah, he won the championships. He had his ways of figuring out how they were gonna win all those amateur races, and I wish one day he would sit down and tell me all his tricks, man, because the dude was a badass. I give him credit for that. But whatever happened in their training regimen, he wasn't able to carry that into the pro ranks. And I can't say to what that was. I don't know why, mentally it was a mental thing. I don't know why mentally he didn't carry that winning.
Yeah.
Winning, was it not easy enough to win when he turned pro and then that he couldn't overcome that? Trust me, I think of all this stuff. Like I think of my kid. Yeah,
I know you do. It's awesome.
Yeah. I'm like, man, is my kid winning? Everything. Well, winning, a lot of his races now, and when he goes pro, it's gonna be a lot harder. He's not gonna win races when he turns pro right off the bat. It's like Ricky Carmichael told me, and when we were talking, he's like, you understand? Some guys turn pro and they'll never win another race. And I was kind of hit me. I'm like, dude, that's crazy because that's real, I'm like I don't like my daughter. She won a lot of off-road races. She turned in NASCAR. She hasn't won a race since, at the high levels of NASCAR, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but my point with that
that's not a negative thing. Like the level, like you're at the absolute top now. Like it ain't easy to win.
No, it's not. There's a lot of stuff that comes into that. And, I get what you're saying. There's like the ham makers, the guys that didn't have a lot coming up, and all of a sudden you give them a lot, and they're like, wow, man, this is great. I'm flourishing. I'm going to take this to the bank, and I'm going to, work my ass off. I finally got it. So what happens when the kid has it his whole career? Is he when he goes up against those other kids, is he still going to be able to outwork them? And is he still going to be able to beat those dudes who are super hungry and super appreciative of what they have? Trust me, I think of that all the time, dude. Like, but here's my other side to it. We go to race. I love racing. I love having the best equipment because, man, I'm competitive, man, and I love having the fastest. Because I don't go to my motor guy and say, hey, dude, let me pay to build this motor and give me a decent one. Like, no, I'm like, how much does it cost to have the best? Like, because I didn't have that as a kid, man. Like, I think that shit's dope. Like show me the dyno sheet that's ridiculous. Like, show me the dyno sheet that I'm like, what the fuck is that? You know, like, and like, cause I'm into like, I love that stuff, dude. And you know, my kid just deals with it, dude. Trust me, my kid ain't in there going, oh, dad, like, let's spend the most money possible and give me the best bike in the world. He ain't saying that. You know, like I'm probably creating this, whatever you want to say, whatever it is. But yes, can a kid be an amateur multi-time amateur champion, the kid to beat, and carry that into his pro ranks and keep it going? I don't know. Ricky Carmichael did. James Stewart did. Yeah, I think it can be done. Cincerillo, I like the guy. I think he's great. I think he's good for the sport. He's a great speaker, great personality. My opinion on what happened when he went pro is, you know, I think of this because my kid's going, you know, in these paths somewhat. So my opinion when he turned pro, I feel like I wasn't there, but like they're at the test tracks and they're clicking the stopwatch. They're like, damn, this dude's just as fast as all the dudes who are kicking ass at the test tracks. You know, this kid's ripping. He's ready to race, man. Let's throw him out there. Someone made that call, and really, was he really ready to go with the big dogs on the gate? Like at 16, 17? Did he move up too quick? That's what it looked like to me. It looked like he, you know, was not probably mentally ready to race with the men, you know, and it took him a few years to go, yeah, okay, I'm ready. You know, his body still had to mature. He changed to a man before our eyes, and he was still a kid when he lined up to race Supercross. He probably didn't even have hair on his nuts. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not talking shit. I'm just saying, dude, I seen him turn to a man at like about 18, 19 years old. Whoa, he turned into a big dude. You know, he was riding, what was he, like in the lights class 2-3 years in, and he was like, whoa, that guy got big. Okay. Yeah. I think for my kid, if I have a choice, I would like him to be that big man, body size, when he races Supercross.
Rookie season.
I want to see him. Like, when I look at Jet Lawrence, I stand next to him. He's a pretty big dude. Like, he's not a kid. Like, he's not a little kid. Like, so. Yeah. I know that's my opinion on that. You know, everyone flourishes at different times. You know, trust me, Cincerillo or Michael Lessie, like they didn't, and other amateur champions, they go through their career doing what they're supposed to do. They're winning. They're doing what their team wants them to do. They're doing what their dad wants them to do. They're doing it, man. Like they're winning. That's not they didn't that wasn't their choice. They're just doing the best they could. And that's what I feel my kid's doing and other kids are doing. They're trying to win, and they're gonna get to their pro career. Will that affect him? Will no? But I think what him winning is gonna do, it's gonna put him on the best team he can be on. The team of probably his, I wouldn't say his choice maybe, but of our choice. You know, let's be real about it. And he's gonna have the best shot possible, put around the best people to put him in the best position to be a champion. You know, thank you. Yeah. Thank you that we're grateful that we're able to be in that position, man. And you know, a lot of people have put in just as much money as I have, just as much work as I have, and haven't had the same results. We're super blessed that my kid has the talent and the drive and the work ethic and I have the ability financially to put him in that position. We understand that that's a huge honor, and we respect that. Like, I am excited to be in that position, you know? So, I mean, don't think we take that for granted. But, you know, there's still a long road to go, dude. We're just talking amateur racing. This shit ain't shit, man. It ain't shit. It don't mean shit. Yeah. Like, when I talked to Jason Anderson, he's like, dude, I won like 11 amateur titles, bro. Like, whatever his number was at Loretta's. He's like, you know what that mattered when I lined up at Supercross? It didn't mean shit. He's like, that didn't matter at all. I'm like, yeah, I get what you're saying. I get it, because I was in a meeting at Star Valley Yamaha when I sponsored that team back in the day. A lot of people don't know that. And I sat in those meetings with Jason Anderson. Yeah. A lot of people don't know this, dude. Like, I was part of that. I was sponsoring those teams back in the day. And Jason Anderson came in for a job. He couldn't, like, no one wanted to hire him. Remember that year when no one wanted him? Like no one wanted to
Yeah.
hire him. And Mike Craig or Christian Craig came in for a meeting too. He was like, those dudes were looking for rides, man. They couldn't even get a ride. Like they were looking like, that was not a full blown factory. That wasn't, let's just say that wasn't your first choice as a rider, like to come to Star Valley Yamaha back in the day, right? But anyway, I saw these dudes at their levels, and these dudes like had won Loretta's a ton of times, so does it matter? Like I don't know, but does it get you a ride? Does it help you put in a good position? Yes. But with the day you turn pro, you better be ready, man. You better be ready, because they're going to give you about a year, maybe 2 if you're lucky, to show what you got. And if you don't, guess what, man? That was cool. You just raced 15 years of your life. Later. Like, on to the next guy. Yeah. It's cutthroat, bro. I get it. Like, let's not hide that. Let's not pretend that's not the truth. So why wouldn't we put that into consideration when we pick the team we want to ride for? When we pick where I'm going to put the last 15 years of my life and millions of dollars. I mean, hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not in the 7 figures of amateur racing, which was great time spent. I like, even if my kid doesn't make it in the pros, we spent a lot of great times together, bro. Like, that's why I say, hey, when I see parents yelling at their kids and throwing the bike on the ground, this, that, trust me, I have that anger too at times. But I look at that, man, I'm like, bro, these are times, like, if you don't make it in this sport, which only 0.001% are going to make it in this sport at that amateur racing, and you got to look back and go, bro, I spent a lot of quality time with my kid, man. Do you want that quality time to be like where your kid's like, my dad's a dickhead, man? Like, my dad yelled at me every race. I was a 10th place kid, man. What do you think? I was gonna win the damn race? Like you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to look at those days. Like, that's time well spent. I go to the races with Hudson, man. He's barely makes it through the qualifier, and I'm like, dude, we laugh and have fun with it, and like, I'm not like throwing his bike out the motorhome or on the ground, like, I have both ends of the spectrum, dude.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.